I have a lot. I just want to start off saying thank you, everyone, for coming to show support and honor for my husband. He was such a humble, good, and honest man. He would say this is all too much for him, but he would think it's really amazing. Thank you to all the first responders who were on scene that morning. I know it probably won't make a difference, but to those that were there that day, I'm begging you, please try not to take that home with you. I know you saw and heard us all lose our hearts that day, and I know it had to have taken a toll on you and weighed you down. But I'd hate for Kaleb to come home from a scene like that, because I know it would stay heavy on his heart. Just please, when you go home, do what Kaleb would do. Hold your wife a little longer, give your kids all the laughs you can get out of them. And be just in the moment with your family.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what he would have done. Just give me a second. Everyone knew a different version of Kaleb. His work knew the professional, hardworking man who took his job so seriously, and he knew his morals. He was truly by the law, by the book, and he did everything with pride. His friends knew the goofy side that would make terrible jokes and do a lot of crazy things that he definitely shouldn't have done. And he was always the first one to start the bonfire. My side of the family knew the shy version at first. That's at first. Then the playful side that never let my dad catch a break. Everyone thought my dad was mean to Kaleb, but really, Kaleb picked on him more. I can see him now saying, "Sure, okay, Chad," and then roll his eyes with a smile on his face, just to try and rile him up. And then they'd junk talk about who's the best driver, and Kaleb would start the story, who he finished the chase that my dad started. His family knew the version of him as a son first, and then a brother, and that brother version was really something fun to see. His siblings never caught a break. Poor Isaac. And Noah. And then Jordan, you just, no. Sorry. Every time we'd go over there, he's wrestling one of the brothers, acting like he's 10 years old again, or being a big brother to his sister, saying absolutely no boys, ever. They saw him be a husband and a father. They saw and helped him grow into an amazing man who believed in God. They gave him such good role models to look up to on how to be a father and a husband. And I can't thank you enough for the man that you helped make for me. I've known Kaleb since the 4th grade, when Miss B first sat him beside me and told me to get him help set up. I fell in love. Then his cousin Shamar interrupted us and took his attention off me. I followed him around like a lost puppy, just in love from the first moment, and I knew he was mine. We had passed notes back and forth in class all the time before we got phones, and then we were constantly texting. Our parents were always getting mad at us for not being in the moment. We had our first kiss in the 8th grade formal to the song Photographed by Ed Sheeran. I remember thinking, finally, I've been with him since the 4th grade. I've been waiting for a kiss forever from this boy. We started high school together, and we finished together. We have so many memories I can share, but it'll take way too long. When we got our license, that was it. We were seeing each other every day, or every other day. We FaceTimed every night on the phone, going to sleep together. We have never been apart this long since we were in middle school. And it's killing me to open my phone and not be able to text or call him. We did everything together. I can't think of anything I've done or he's done, and we weren't there. I would meet him at the bank just to deposit money from working outside with Dylan Green. Or at the gas station when we got off work just to we could see each other. When we graduated and he started BLET, we were so excited to finally move out so we could be together and sleep beside each other every night and never have to just watch each other on FaceTime anymore. We didn't care how much it cost. We were ready to start our life together. One day we were sitting on the porch and he had went inside to grab something and came back out. I joked with him and I said, "I thought you were going in to get my ring," and he just laughed at me. What I didn't know was he already had it in his sock drawer waiting for the right time. When we were at the beach and he got down on one knee, I remember thanking God, thinking, I can't believe this is actually happening. The man I've loved forever is finally going to be my husband. Also, it's about time. Afterwards, he had told me he was on his way home from work and heard the song "Till You Can't" by Cody Johnson came on. And the part that says you can always put a diamond on her hand till you can't played. And he said he knew he had to get the ring that day. Before we got married, we got pregnant. And I remember taking the test and coming out to tell Kaleb. What he didn't know was that I was taking the test. So I'm crying. And he looked at me and he said, "What happened?" And then he said, "What did you break?" And so I just blurted out and said, "I'm pregnant." He started laughing. I'm bawling my eyes out and he's just laughing. And the first thing he said was, what do you want to name it?" There was no hesitation, no moment of scared. He was just happy and ready to be a daddy. When we found out it was a boy, he freaked out. He was so happy, jumping up and down. And then we figured Weston's name out not long after. In the hospital, I had a bad labor experience, and he was so worried about me, telling them something wasn't right, and just squeezing my hand. He hated seeing me in pain because he couldn't fix it. Then we heard Weston cry. He cut the cord and brought him over to me, and just held him with so much love in his eyes. He was there every step of the way, helping take care of me and Weston. When we got home, making bottles, changing diapers, helping me shower, bathing Weston. In the first bath we gave Weston, Kaleb was holding him. We were putting him in the sink, and he started to pee. So Kaleb aimed him at me instead of in the sink. So instead of putting him in the sink, I got peed on, and Kaleb thought that was pretty funny until he had to finish that bath by himself. I got hurt, and I called Kaleb and said, "Don't freak out, but I cut my hand and I have to go to the hospital." He ended up beating the ambulance there, and his mom told me he was on the phone with her, and he was yelling at the security guard who wouldn't let him back because he was in full uniform, and she said he couldn't bring his gun in. And he said, "My wife's back there, I'm going." And then she said, "I'm calling the police," and he said, "Go ahead, I am." He would have busted down every door in that hospital to find me, though. And he sat with me forever waiting to get a room because I had to have surgery. Someone at one point actually came in to see if I needed a suicide bracelet. They asked Kaleb if he was for me or with me. After that, I had to basically kick him out of the room and say, "Go home, shower, and change." But he didn't want to leave me. He finally left, though, because I was tired of looking like that, with an officer sitting watching me. I swear he was back within 40 minutes. I don't think he showered, he just changed his clothes and came right back. When we got home, he brushed my hair every night after I showered. He even watched YouTube videos to try and figure out how to braid my hair. I got better and we got married in May. At the wedding, we had a double rainbow appear after the ceremony. In the Bible, a rainbow appearing at a wedding means a powerful divine sign of covenant, faithfulness, and God's blessing over the new union. Oh, yeah. We've had an amazing marriage. We never fought or argued, and we always showed each other how much we loved each other every day. I got pregnant with our daughter, and I took the test in October. We had been wanting another baby. And Caleb had actually stopped by to grab something right after I had taken the test. And he saw me crying and got worried. And then I just smiled at him and told him that I was pregnant. And he smiled so big at me and grabbed my face with both of his hands and just gave me the biggest kiss and told me how happy he was. When we found out she was a girl, we were just watching a Christmas movie. He held me while I cried again. And we called everyone because he was horrible at keeping secrets that long. He was so scared, but was so excited to be a girl dad. I have been lucky enough to get to feel his love and see him be every amazing version of himself. I can go on and on with stories about how amazing he was. Like the times he danced with me in our house, sang to me in the car, not in tune at all. Every time he held me and told me we were our own little family. The way he'd always make me feel beautiful every day. Days he'd come home with flowers, kissing my cheek, and then giving me 3 kisses before we went to sleep every night. Every morning kissing me goodbye and letting me depend on him for everything. He was the most amazing husband, and I cannot believe this. He's always been the person I go to. He wraps me in his arms and I feel like I'm home. And all my problems melt away, and now my home's gone forever. I'll never get those arms again, and to take a deep breath and let everything out. He was my home, and now he's just gone. And that's so hard to believe. He was an amazing dad. He'd always come home from work, and Weston would follow him around, watch him change out of uniform. And he'd be playing with him all night until we went to bed. It never failed. He lived for the moments. He made our son laugh. He carried him everywhere we went, and he spoiled him and gave him chocolate after I said no more. He also said, "Shh, don't tell mommy." He recently taught him how to arrest me. So I had my 2-year-old son putting my arms behind my back, pushing me around the house. He planned on taking a full month off after we have our daughter. I joked and said, "You'll go back in 2 weeks." He said, "No, I won't, but I will pick up hustles." But that was him. He couldn't sit still, and he loved his job. He loved what he did. He had once told me he wouldn't retire. He'd just stay part-time until he couldn't work anymore. Our kids are now going to grow up with a bunch of family and friends and just so much love, but they'll never have their daddy again. We share a TikTok account, and I go through the videos that he's liked. Some he showed me, others he didn't. The main one he showed me was, like the sheriff said earlier, when the call for the TikTok says, "If you knew it was your last call, would you still go?" And he said, "Every time." I said, "No, you pass that on." And he said, "No." He said, "Every time," and just shrugged his shoulders and said, "It's what you do." At the end of the day, it didn't matter if he made it to where he was going. He was going to go every time. I'm going to read a few more videos that he liked, and then I promise I'm almost done. "We leave our family to protect yours. We signed up knowing today might be our last. We suffer through the worst evils in hopes you never have to. God really said you're going to spend most of your days missing him, but I'll send you a man that will bust his tail for his family. He will be given strength and purpose, and he won't stop until he gives you the world." And he always did. This is my favorite. "If the world is this beautiful, then I can't wait to see heaven." This is the last one I'll say. Never believe that you have been gone too long to come back to God. He is not waiting to punish you or keeping track of how far you've drifted. If prayer has felt distant or hard, he is not disappointed in you. If you don't feel him, tell him that. Say it honestly. If your faith feels small, bring what you have. If you're angry, confused, ashamed, or afraid, speak out loud. God can handle your honesty. He is patient, kind, and full of grace. And his love for you does not change. And as you begin to talk with him again, you'll remember why you love being close to him in the first place. God is not hard to approach. He is good, gentle, and worth every conversation. When you leave here today, please remember not only the officer who's fallen, but the friend, son, brother, husband, father, and God-fearing man. Because at the end of the day, he knew where he was going, and he's waiting for me to come home to him when the time's right. And he will hold me in his arms again, and I'll finally be able to breathe because I'll be home. Thank you.